What's up, YouTube fam? It's your favorite girl, Jay Shark, coming back to you with yet another reaction video. The video that I'm going to be reacting to today, if you have not read the title, is by Mr. Uncle George Carlin. It's going to be brought to us by George Carlin, and he is going to be speaking on the topic of birth control. This was recommended to me by a lovely Jay Baes. You know what? I'm actually gonna see if I can find the screenshot, because this Jay Baes, he recommended so many of George Carlin's stuff. His name is 428 Chase. Like, literally, he recommended so much shit. I know you all love and appreciate George Carlin, so I was like, I have to stay updated on my George Carlin flow, because before I even started doing reaction videos and before one of you all recommended him primarily, I didn't even know who he was. So with that being said, before we get into the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and follow me on Instagram at JShar with an H at the end. Let's get into it.
That was terrific.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's nice. Like I say, it's smaller here, and you're
He
able
was
to feel
so
like a little
young.
club.
It's a nice little room to work in, as they say in the trade.
Absolutely, right.
I haven't seen you actually in the flesh since, I don't know when.
Last time I would remember would be that TV Guide luncheon we talked about.
He looked so
That's
uncomfortable.
right, that was really funny. The three of us appeared on a gruesome kind of event. It could be gruesome if they didn't work it right. They get three comics up, one after the other, on a dais of famous people.
There were about 40 really famous people,
Yeah, and when you're one of the three comics, you think that you're going to be the one to bomb.
2 out of 3, right, and you'll be number 1.
And you'll say, well, 2 of them made it, but
It worked out okay.
we did all right. We did all right. I remember you started out at the very beginning of it, and you said something that got a very small laugh, and there was a gavel there, and you picked it up for order, even though there was not disorder. And this got very. I remember these little things.
I remembered, yeah, I did my news, sports, and weather,
That's right.
which has been a mainstay.
Well, you were saying that there was something you might have done there if you'd had more time just then.
Oh, yeah,
Talk
well,
about something else that you didn't get to.
Birth control pills I kind of include in the drug scene because it's like, you know, you take them. And by the way, it's nice for the drug companies to let the gals in on the research, isn't it? Because yes, they're going to find out whether they're safe by trying them on people who buy them at the store. Maybe when everyone who's used them gets to be 63 and one leg gets shorter than the other, they'll, you know, they'll call them in. We better have a look at them. Anyway, it's that birth control pills are still on prescription. That's the premise. You need a note to do it. You know, that's really very strange. And you not only need a note, you have to go to one person to get the note, and then you have to bring it to another person. Everybody's really in on it. It's, ladies must feel silly going, here's my note. Oh, that's what you're doing in a home.
Right.
And I just think that when birth controls pills come off prescription, that they'll have catchy, cute names, such as the patent medicines have. Names to help you know what the product does. They'll need names like Pregnant. And Embryno. Here's one for the gals. Nary a carry. Nay, family way.
Okay.
Mom bomb. Here's a real man's product. Inconceivable. And I wouldn't be surprised if they come up with one called I Kid You Not, because they're just, yeah, they're phrase makers, and they're good at that.
In an amusing little compact.
Oh, I'm sure they'll have Christmas cartons for them and special sales, and they'll be, well, they'll probably be at the cash
not
register at the mints
happening.
there. Take your change in birth control. Sure.
You've given a lot of thought to the problem.
Right?
Do you ever feel old-fashioned that when we must be about the same age?
I'm 34.
Yeah, well then we are almost exactly the same age. When you were in school, was there such a thing as any talk of drugs? Had anybody heard of it?
Well, not in grammar school. There was the word. There was the word dope, which we used to play around. I lived near Columbia University. I lived in between Columbia University and Harlem, in a kind of a section called Morningside Heights, where there was an Irish neighborhood which was not being Irish much anymore. You know, it was going away.
Yeah.
And I was like, they built projects, and they put Columbia kept expanding, you know, kicking people out, and because of that fact, we used to play in where Columbia's Pupin laboratories would throw out all their garbage. It was a great place to play because there was all this chemical stuff and laboratory equipment and stuff they didn't want. And our mothers always told us, don't ever take anything that's there because they'll be dope. And we just knew that word dope.
Dope, yeah.
That's all I grew up with. But then in high school, even in the 50s, in the early 50s, in 52, I got into grass at 14. It was partly because of the neighborhood.
14?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that was the first time I had any. I didn't really keep any around then.
Yeah.
But,
well, how did it come about?
One of the guys first in school, one of the guys in high school, first year or second year, got into it a little and then came back to the neighborhood, and then we discovered it was also in our neighborhood, which we hadn't noticed. And we began to, dabble, fool around, use a little on the weekends, you know. And most of the guys who tried it stopped, you know, for various reasons later. Some guys kept some. Out of 30 guys in the neighborhood, there's probably only 3 that still bother with grass at all. Depends on your lifestyle, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. I did a show on this the other night, and
I know,
one of the
I
men
didn't
from the
see it, but I've heard a lot of
commission
it.
was here, and the enormous number of people who just lost interest in it. Just
Sure.
lose interest
Yeah.
in it.
Because it is, you know, just like what it is. There's nothing, well, there are arguments you can make about it.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
apparently, and it is very bad for certain people. They established that, but not apparently not for most. But there are a few people who.
I found a lot of people who've
Psychotic
used it as a tool. I mean, if there's a way to use it and just get high and just go out and, I mean, you know, just like lie back and listen to things maybe and just goof centrally, but there's other ways to get high and do something. You get high and clean the closet. You get high and make a list of what you have to do next week. I mean, there's ways to use it to get yourself together. A lot of people would attest to that.
I don't know anybody who claims they can do any good work.
I know a few people
From it, though. I mean, any writer
who say
thinks
they
they
need
can
to
really
be
write.
high
Well,
to do something.
I don't think you could write on it, but I think that if
I
you
could
were a
never.
writer, that getting high on it from time to time could have an effect on your writing, a positive effect
I
on your
believe
writing.
that too.
I think you can think of things under it which you might employ that you wouldn't otherwise.
But
Yeah.
to actually do disciplined work, I don't know if anybody can actually do
Depends
that.
on the discipline.
Well, yeah.
What about that guy on that moon mission who saved the moon mission? Remember the long-haired guy at the laboratory around Boston? They had a thing where the abort switch, and they had to bypass the abort switch and write a new program.
Yeah.
And he wrote it like in 2 or 3 hours, and they saved the moon mission. And then the guy was interviewed later, and he said, "Oh yeah, a lot of people here do a little dope. Sure, no, yeah, I've written some pretty far-out programs on it and everything."
I think they tried to cover him up quickly. After that.
The point is, nothing is, you know, great all by itself, but used properly, I think there's some positive advantages to marijuana.
What was the thing that he talked about the other night? Oh, treatment of glaucoma. They think there's some research to be done in that. That's important. Well, wait a minute. We have to take a station break, and then we'll be right back.
That was good. It was cool to see young George Carlin. I don't think any of the stand-ups that I watched previously, he was young. I think it was more of in his final years. From my memory, y'all know my memory is trash, but at least from what I remember, I don't think he was young in any of those stand-ups, but I like to see him chill like that. I didn't realize how much I like to hear people talk. Like, I like for them to share their ideas in a calm way. Like, yes, I love to laugh. Yes, I like stand-up, but if you are a fan of my Bill Burr reactions, you would know that I have not done an actual stand-up to Bill Burr in a very long time. Like, lately, I've been just reacting to his podcast, like his Monday morning podcast show, because I just like to hear people talk. I like to hear what they think. I don't have to agree with them 100% of the time, but I don't know, it's interesting to hear the dialogue, especially, you know, those two were just talking. He was on that talk show, and when I watch Bill Burr, I like, when he is on the show, I just like to hear that discourse. So I don't know, it's just what I like. So if you like this reaction video, be sure to give me a beautiful thumbs up. If you have any other George Carlin or any videos that you want me to react to, don't hesitate to recommend that down in the comment box, and I'll try to get back to everyone ASAP. If you have not done so already, hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and follow me on Instagram at JShar with an H at the end. You all know that I love you. You love yourself 10 times more. Have a beautiful day or night in this amazing world. Ciao.